if you've played this game long enough, your backswing might have got shorter and shorter. I'm going to give you a cheeky little fix. I've got a chap that comes to me on a weekly basis, the only client, and over a period of time, he's been trying to lengthen his backswing, and this really inspired today's video. He's in his mid-60s, and I've been helping him for the last 6 or 7 years. And as we've gone on, we've built more speed, we've got great data points, and he wants to hit it that little bit further. But what we notice in his golf swing is at the top of the backswing, in his efforts over the months to get that longer golf shot, his backswing tends to get a little bit short in turn. We've worked on some real good leg action to really open him up down through strike. And what we see a lot of the time is the backswing gets a little bit short, because in the desire to get the club down fast, we end up getting the pull phase in the golf club just a little bit too early in the downswing. And that often can make you feel like, whew, lucky again, that can often make you feel like that's going to give you the most speed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the little speed box. With the club speed now up on the screen, I'm going to start to change the sensation of my golf swing to encourage more speed. So on that last shot I've just hit, as you saw, backswing was rather short and I pulled rather hard. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give myself a little bit more time in the backswing. I'm going to focus on a couple of areas. One key area is getting that right hip to really get itself on top of my left heel. I want to try to feel, if I was going to put that club head on my right hip there, I'm going to try and get that club head to pop itself on my left heel. Now that might seem a little bit of an odd thing. Oh, Stuart, you're talking about stack and tilt and reverse pivot. Not at all, because if I've got enough energy with the handle moving in this direction, it's really going to offset that energy moving towards the target. And then what I'm going to do is I'm then going to count to 5. Yes, 5 to the top of the backswing. And when I hit the number 5, that's when I'm going to start to pull the golf club down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And at that point, I've now got myself a much longer backswing. And just by making the backswing longer, you can see I've added 10 miles an hour. 10 miles an hour is not to be sniffed, 9 miles an hour. 10 miles an hour, that is not to be sniffed at. Now at the point that the backswing gets longer, all of a sudden, we've got to move this club in space in a different way on the way down. Because of course, that little short backswing where it was more of a half a second backswing was being pulled from, maybe I should stick with that short backswing because that keeps on going straight. Maybe some thought in that. So as I pull the golf club back, I'm pulling it from a much shorter position. As I now make that right hip move more, look how the golf club head now gets even further back of the ball to target line. That being the case, I can now, and if you haven't checked out my What Happens Next video up in the top right-hand corner of your screen, you'll understand that because that club head has now moved even further back behind the ball to target line, I now have the opportunity to pull the handle forwards. I know, shock horror. My right shoulder moves forwards, yes, shock horror. All of those lovely little swing tips that you've had out there of tucking the right elbow in and keeping the right shoulder back. What a load of garbage that is. So allowing the handle to now move forwards, you can see, because I've created more range of motion with my right hip on the way back and my chest, that club has more opportunity to be pulled forwards, so that when we then pull and hit, all of a sudden, I'm going to be coming from a much further place back, which will allow the golf ball to go straight. Goodness me, I should really start taking up playing this game. So if you have experienced some short backswings and not maximizing speed, the two key ingredients. Give yourself 5 seconds to make your backswing. And then when you're reaching the top, I really want you to feel like you can imagine that club handle staying super high for super long, as opposed to when you've had a short backswing and you do lengthen it up. The first thing golfers tend to do is hit it fat and hit it too much from the inside. Because as I say, that club's now moved much more behind the ball to target line. So as we've now made this longer backswing, now we can keep the handle high, allow it to move forwards and really start to move around the golf ball. And at that point, we use this bigger hip turn and we sequence it up by allowing the head and the handle to now move more around the golf ball. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you're tired of paying too much for premium leather golf gloves, do head over and check out my channel sponsor, GX Golf Gloves. These gloves are trusted by elite, amateurs and tour players alike. Use my code GOODCOACHING to receive 10% on your next order. Move that handle forwards. We go one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the one. Back of the net. That, my friends, I think you'll agree, is good coaching.